Ah, welcome. You've come seeking not whispers but foundations, the kind of tale upon which entire civilizations stand, and where better to begin than Uruk, the jewel of Mesopotamia, its walls stretching so high seeming, nigh to scrape the heavens. Within those walls lived a man who was no mere man. A king whose name still echoes through clay tablets older than empires. Gilgamesh. But before you imagine a noble ruler carved in marble perfection, pause. For Gilgamesh's beginning was not gentle, and his reign, his reign, was one of storms before it was of wisdom. And that, dear listener, is what makes his tale endure. It is said that he was 2/3 God and 1/3 man. Already you hear the imbalance, don't you? Enough divinity to be unmatched in strength, but still mortal enough to be restless, to hunger, to fear the shadow of death. That fraction, the third that was mortal, would define him more than the rest. But in his youth, he passed through Uruk with the certainty of one who believed the city was made in his image. His body was immense, towering above even the tallest men of the city. His skin bore the bronze warmth of the Mesopotamian sun, and his eyes shone with the fire of gods who believed themselves beyond consequence. The people of Uruk beheld him with awe at first. Who could not? He built temples, raised walls, and carved Uruk into a citadel worthy of song. But awe curdles quickly into dread. For Gilgamesh was not content to rule. He had to dominate. He demanded first rights to brides, wrestled men until bones cracked, and tested every strength against his people, as if they were no more than reeds in the wind. His pride was a tempest, his passion a flood, and Uruk, though mighty, was drowning beneath him. You may be thinking, but surely if he was 2/3 divine, the gods smiled upon him. No. The gods watch with amusement, yes, but they are fickle. They had gifted him strength, but they had not granted him balance. And so the cries of Uruk rose, not in songs of praise, but in prayers of desperation. At temple doors, mothers whispered for deliverance. Farmers cursed his excess while sowing fields that fed his armies. Even priests, those who dared not speak against kings, lifted offerings not to honor him but to beg the gods to humble him. And the gods, as they often do when mortals reach their breaking point, answered. They gathered in council. Anu, lord of the heavens, sat in judgment, his voice heavy with the weight of stars. Shamash, god of the sun, spoke of Gilgamesh's unmatched vigor, but also of his unchecked arrogance. And then Ninhursag, goddess of creation, was called forth. It was she who had shaped mankind from clay at the dawn of time. If his strength is unmatched, she said, then let us match it. If his arrogance grows unchecked, then let us fashion a companion equal in power, but opposite in heart. And so, from the dust of the wilds and the breath of the gods, she began to shape Enkidu. But that is a story for another time. For now, let us linger a bit in Uruk. Picture it, the colossal walls gleaming in the sun, the temple of Ishtar adorned in lapis and gold, the people bustling through markets heavy with grain and cattle. And above it all, Gilgamesh, too tall, too fierce, too restless. Have you ever known someone brilliant, radiant, unstoppable, and yet unbearable? That was Uruk's king. His people both loved and hated him, as one loves the river that nourishes fields but drowns the city beneath the flood. And in his arrogance, Gilgamesh did not see the storm brewing. For no man, no matter how divine his blood, may stand unchallenged forever. And when the challenge came, it would come not from an army, nor from the gods themselves, but from a being born of clay, destined to be his equally matched rival. And so ends our first chapter. Not with redemption, not with wisdom, but with imbalance. an arrogant king standing too tall, unaware that the gods had already begun to weave his rival, his equal, his brother. When next we meet, Enkidu will rise from the wilds, and the destiny of Gilgamesh will shift from tyranny to legend. Until our paths cross again in the realm of myths and legends, remember to stay curious, stay inspired, keep exploring, and may your journey be as enriching as the timeless tale of Gilgamesh.